Conservation biology is a critical field of study that aims to preserve the Earth's biodiversity and ensure the survival of species and ecosystems for future generations. It plays a vital role in maintaining the balance of nature and protecting the countless species that contribute to the health and stability of ecosystems worldwide. Endangered species are those at risk of becoming extinct due to various factors, such as habitat loss, climate change, and human activities. Conservation efforts are crucial for their survival, as well as for the protection of the ecosystems they inhabit. By understanding the challenges faced by endangered species, we can develop strategies to help them recover and thrive in their natural environments. In the next segments, we'll dive deeper into the criteria for determining endangered species status, the causes of species decline, and the various conservation strategies being implemented to protect these precious species and their habitats. In this segment, we'll explore the criteria for determining endangered species status and how conservationists use these criteria to prioritize conservation efforts. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, maintains the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species, a comprehensive inventory of the global conservation status of various species. The IUCN Red List categorizes species into different levels of conservation concern, ranging from least concern to extinct. Species that are considered endangered face a very high risk of extinction in the wild. The criteria for determining endangered species status include factors such as population size, population decline rate, and geographic range. By evaluating these factors, conservationists can identify the species most in need of protection and allocate resources accordingly. In the next segments, we'll delve into the primary causes of species decline and the various conservation strategies being implemented to protect endangered species and their habitats. In this section, we will discuss the primary threats to endangered species and the factors contributing to their decline. Habitat loss and fragmentation are among the most significant threats to many species. As humans expand their territories and clear land for agriculture, infrastructure, and urban development, they encroach on the habitats of various species, reducing their available living space and resources. Overexploitation is another significant threat to endangered species. This includes activities such as overfishing, overhunting, and illegal poaching. When humans harvest resources from the wild at unsustainable rates, they can cause severe declines in the populations of targeted species, pushing them closer to extinction. Invasive species can also contribute to the decline of endangered species. When non-native species are introduced to a new environment, they can outcompete native species for resources, introduce new diseases, or even prey upon native species. These invasions can lead to a decrease in native species populations and further threaten endangered species. In the upcoming sections, we'll explore various conservation strategies being implemented to protect endangered species and their habitats. In this segment, we'll discuss the importance of preserving habitats for species survival and some strategies used for habitat conservation. Preserving habitats is critical for the long-term survival of endangered species, as it provides them with the resources they need, such as food, water, and shelter. Moreover, habitat conservation helps maintain the delicate balance of ecosystems and the essential services they provide. One of the key strategies for habitat conservation is the establishment of protected areas, such as national parks, wildlife reserves, and marine protected areas. These areas can safeguard crucial habitats and provide a refuge for endangered species. However, it's essential to ensure that these protected areas are effectively managed and sufficiently connected to allow for genetic exchange between populations. Another important approach to habitat conservation is the creation of wildlife corridors. These corridors are stretches of land or water that connect fragmented habitats, allowing animals to move between them. This connectivity is vital for maintaining genetic diversity and enabling species to adapt to changing environmental conditions. Habitat restoration is another crucial component of conservation efforts. This involves repairing damaged ecosystems, such as reforesting logged areas or restoring degraded wetlands, to return them to a more natural state. This process can help improve the overall health of ecosystems and provide essential habitat for endangered species. Lastly, community-based conservation efforts play a significant role in habitat conservation. By involving local people in the decision-making process and creating incentives for them to protect their local environment, these initiatives can lead to more sustainable and effective conservation outcomes. Empowering communities to take ownership of their natural resources can foster a greater sense of responsibility and stewardship, ultimately benefiting both the people and the wildlife that rely on these habitats. In this segment, we'll discuss species-specific conservation strategies, focusing on captive breeding and reintroduction programs, genetic management, and conservation legislation and international agreements. captive breeding and reintroduction programs are essential tools for conserving endangered species. These programs involve breeding animals in controlled environments, such as zoos or specialized breeding centers, and then releasing them back into the wild to help bolster their populations. While captive breeding can help increase population numbers, it's important to ensure that reintroduced animals are well prepared for life in the wild and that their release takes place in suitable habitats. Genetic management is another crucial aspect of species-specific conservation. Preserving genetic diversity within a species is vital for its long-term survival, as it enables the species to adapt to changing environmental conditions and resist diseases. Genetic management strategies may involve monitoring genetic diversity within populations, translocating individuals between fragmented populations to promote genetic exchange, or using assisted reproductive technologies to maintain genetic diversity in captive breeding programs. Conservation legislation and international agreements play a significant role in protecting endangered species. National laws, such as the Endangered Species Act in the United States, provide a framework for listing and protecting threatened species and their habitats. Additionally, international agreements, such as the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, CITES, and the Convention on Biological Diversity, CBD, help coordinate global efforts to conserve biodiversity and protect endangered species from threats like illegal wildlife trade. Together, these species-specific conservation strategies contribute to the broader goal of protecting endangered species and their habitats, ensuring a more diverse and resilient natural world. In this segment, we'll discuss the role of zoos and aquariums in conservation efforts, specifically focusing on education, research, and captive breeding programs, as well as the challenges and controversies surrounding these institutions. Zoos and aquariums play a vital role in conservation by providing education and raising public awareness about endangered species and their habitats. Through engaging exhibits, educational programs, and interactive experiences, these institutions help visitors understand the importance of protecting biodiversity and inspire them to take action to support conservation initiatives. Research is another crucial component of the conservation work carried out by zoos and aquariums. These institutions often collaborate with universities, government agencies, and other organizations to conduct research on various aspects of animal biology, ecology, and behavior. This research can lead to a better understanding of the needs of endangered species and inform conservation strategies. Captive breeding programs are a key aspect of the conservation work done by zoos and aquariums. These programs aim to breed endangered species in controlled environments and, in some cases, reintroduce them to their native habitats. Such programs can be essential for species recovery and can help prevent extinction. However, there are challenges and controversies surrounding zoos and aquariums. Critics argue that keeping animals in captivity can lead to stress, abnormal behavior, and reduced lifespans. Some also question the ethics of confining wild animals for entertainment purposes. To address these concerns, many zoos and aquariums are working to improve animal welfare standards and create more naturalistic, spacious habitats that allow animals to engage in species-typical behaviors. In conclusion, zoos and aquariums play a significant role in conservation efforts through education, research, and captive breeding programs. While challenges and controversies exist, these institutions continue to contribute to the protection of endangered species and their habitats. As we look towards the future of conservation biology, it's essential to consider emerging technologies, the role of citizen science, and the need to balance human needs with conservation goals. Emerging technologies have the potential to significantly impact conservation efforts. For example, advances in remote sensing and satellite imagery can help monitor habitat changes and track wildlife populations, while drone technology can be used for anti-poaching efforts or monitoring hard-to-reach habitats. In addition, genetic techniques like gene editing and cloning could play a role in conserving species with small populations or threatened by disease. Citizen science is becoming an increasingly important part of conservation research. By engaging the public in data collection and monitoring efforts, scientists can gather valuable information on species distribution, population trends, and habitat health. Citizen science projects can also help raise awareness and foster a sense of stewardship among participants, encouraging them to take action to protect the environment. Balancing human needs with conservation goals is a critical challenge in the field of conservation biology. As the global population continues to grow and demands on natural resources increase, it's essential to find ways to support sustainable development while preserving ecosystems and species. This may involve promoting sustainable agriculture, forestry, and fishing practices, as well as finding ways to reduce pollution and habitat loss. In addition, working with local communities to develop conservation strategies that respect their cultural values and economic needs is crucial for the long-term success of these efforts. In conclusion, the future of conservation biology relies on embracing new technologies, engaging the public through citizen science, and finding ways to balance human needs with the protection of endangered species and their habitats. By addressing these challenges, we can work towards a healthier planet for all its inhabitants.